I wonder. God damn you, Liam Vickers, and your intentionally unhelpful set design! Good morning, morons. Welcome back to Unhelpful Commentary. Today we're switching up styles and doing a slightly different video. Now, if you've watched any of my content so far, you can probably tell that there are a lot of things on YouTube that I don't like, but murder drones is not one of them. So, with episode 3 coming out tomorrow, I'm going to try and answer 2 questions that have been playing on my mind for a while now. How long have the drones been stranded on Copper 9? And how long have the murder drones been trying to kill them for? Now, I think I have the answer to both of these questions, and I'm going to show you how I got to them right now. Now, my first idea was just look it up online and see if anyone else had already found the answer, which led me to the Murder Drones Ask Me Anything held by Liam Vickers on Reddit, in which he answered this exact question. Hooray! Well, actually not, because his reply is this, and I quote, "Then events of the pilot take place after exactly intentionally indeterminate amount of time so I don't write myself into a corner since the murder drones arrived." End quote. Well, great. Thanks for nothing, Liam. I'm not going to let you get away with that. I am writing you into a corner whether you like it or not. First thing we need to do to ruin Liam's day is to figure out where exactly Copper 9 is, so we can get a rough estimate of the time it would take to travel from Earth to it. Now, the only information we have to go off of here is that it's an exoplanet that appears to be orbiting a set of 2 objects, one of which has large rings around it. No, this is not Saturn. That would make this a moon, not an exoplanet. From my very basic research, the most likely candidate for Copper 9 is the planet Proxima b, an Earth-sized planet that orbits Proxima Centauri, the closest star to our own solar system. Proxima Centauri also has another much larger planet orbiting it that is believed to have a set of large rings. Now, this logic is far from perfect, but it seems to make the most sense for me, especially considering its relatively close proximity to Earth, meaning it would be easier for JC Jensen to profit off of it. So I'm going to base all of my calculations around that. Now, the distance to Proxima Centauri from Earth is roughly 4.25 light years, meaning that anything coming to or from Copper 9 must take at least 4.25 years to travel the distance. We can assume that a distress signal detailing the collapse of the planet's core was sent to Earth using some sort of electromagnetic wave, such as a radio wave. Since these always travel at light speed, this means it would take 4.25 years for the humans on Earth to recognize the collapse of the planet. The humans then have to decide what to do with this information, and decide to modify existing worker drones into murder drones to send back to Copper 9. We know that they did this due to N's flashback in episode 2. It's likely they would already have spacecraft to send them on, as this is an active mining operation. So I'm going to round up to a total 6 years to receive the distress call, go through the process of making a decision on the problem, and designing and building the murder drones. Given that mining on a planet 4.2 light years away from Earth is viable for this company, we're going to assume that the spacecraft that our in-universe humans have is able to travel very close to light speed, maybe 95 to 99% of it. Averaging that out, we get about 4.4 years to make the trip back to Copper 9, bringing our total time up to 10.4 years. Great, now the murder drones are here. But how long have they been here for? We know from episode 2 that the humans on Earth haven't given the drones any communications, so we can safely assume that they're no longer in the picture for the moment. Since we don't know how long worker drones are designed to live for, we can't use that as a metric. However, we can use the number of worker drone corpses collected in the massive corpse spire. And god damn it, is that annoying to figure out. The height and size of this thing seems to change constantly. The scenes inside the spire show it as gigantic, while the ones outside show it as a much smaller and importantly thinner tower. In the end, I decided to use concept art images from the Season 1 teaser released by Glitch, which shows lots of behind the scenes images. Namely, this image containing a murder drone standing on the side of the spire, this one showing that Uzi is exactly 127 centimeters tall, and this one showing the entrance to the spire is about 5 worker drones tall. I also constructed an image of the whole tower from a panning shot in the opening scene of the pilot episode. Alright, now I've got everything I need, it's time to figure this out. Looking at this shot from the pilot, we can see that Khan is about half a head taller than Uzi, which equates to about 20 centimeters. This means the height of Khan and the other adult worker drones is about 147 to 150 centimeters, meaning that the entrance to the corpse spire is about 735 centimeters or 7.35 meters. This in turn lets us figure out the height of the entire spire, which equates to about 44.1 meters, with a radius of around 15 meters. This looks too small for what we see in the interior, but I'm far past caring at this point. Using the surface area formula for a cone without a base, which this spire roughly is, though some parts are offset slightly, we can determine the spire has a surface area of roughly 2,195 meters squared. Using various area calculations, I estimated the area of the average worker drone to be about 0.26 meters if compressed like we see them in the spire, meaning there are at least 9,000 worker drones along the outside edge. God damn it, I hate inconsistent modeling. Right, so at this point, I took a break and waited for my brain aneurysm to subside, because there is no way in hell that there are only 9,000 workers on the outside of this thing. Just look at it. I haven't even told you why I'm calculating this in the first place. This video is supposed to be figuring out how long the murder drones have been here for, not how many corpses are in this stupid tower. So let's get into my reasoning behind that, shall we? Right, so in the pilot we see N drink oil exactly 2 times. Once before he attacks Uzi, and during the middle of the hallway scene when he has just killed the last of the WDF workers. Thanks to Uzi's railgun timer, we can tell that these 2 events take place almost exactly 30 minutes apart. This is helpful because the second time N drinks oil is incredibly poor timing to do so, as there is still a worker on the run. This insinuates that N needs to drink oil at this point to prevent him from overheating, meaning that the murder drones need to drink oil every 30 minutes that they are active so they don't overheat. This is useful because it can tell us the maximum amount of time that the murder drones could have survived on Copper 9 based on the workers they killed. Obviously this is not perfect, but I've got less than an hour of footage to work with here, so cut me some slack, okay? Now, back to a slightly more stressed me. I've decided to tackle this with a slightly more manual approach, using only one source to get a more consistent number, so goodbye reference images. We're keeping Uzi's height as a baseline since that is canon, and instead I'm going to count all of the piled up corpses in a line straight to the top and around the base of this tower that is used in the actual animation. Alright. So, a lot of counting and pulling my hair out later, I think I've finally got a decent estimate of how many corpses are in this spire, which sits at about 54,000 drones. Now, this definitely has a huge range in it, but this whole idea has a huge range, so we're going with this, okay? We can finally figure out the maximum time that the murder drones could have survived based on the number of drones they have killed. Since there are 3 murder drones, N, J, and V, all of whom will need to drink the oil of 1 drone per half hour for normal nighttime function, plus maybe 3 extra drones worth to sustain themselves during their inactive sleep cycle during the day. That adds up to 81 drones killed per day at a minimum. Dividing our total number of killed workers by this tells us that the longest possible time that the murder drones could have spent on Copper 9 is 666 days, or 1.82 years. Damn, that's actually a lot less time than I'd thought, but all the math checks out, and quite frankly, I'm tired of researching for this script, and I'd rather not do any more math right now. So, let's have a look at our complete murder drones timeline. We begin in our planetary collapse, wiping all organic life from Copper 9. The distress signal sent by the base takes 4.25 years to reach JC Jensen headquarters on Earth. After hearing of the news, the higher-ups of the company hold far too many meetings and decide to send murder drones to Copper 9 to disassemble the worker drones and prevent them from coming after humanity. The murder drones are assembled from old workers on Earth, and their memories are wiped and given a new directive. An intentional overheating problem is also put in to cause the murder drones to self-destruct once the workers are dead. 6 years after Copper 9's collapse, the murder drones begin their journey, arriving around 4.4 years later. The worker drones retreat to an abandoned human facility under a thick ice sheet, with Khan Dorman constructing 3 doors to prevent the murder drones from getting to them. The murder drones spend the next 1.8 years fulfilling their directive, until Uzi leaves the safety of the bunker in the pilot episode. Does this work very well with the story? Well, actually, maybe. Now we get this line of dialogue from V in the pilot episode.
I've been trying to get past those doors for months. Nice work, Anne.
The fact that she said months here indicates that they've been trying to get into this bunker for less than 2 years. Otherwise she would have said years. Given the bunker is a 30-minute walk from the murder drone's lair, which is about 1.5 to 2.5 kilometers for anyone interested, and these drones can fly, that means that my estimation is pretty accurate from what we've seen so far. Thank God, because I was not gonna do that again. I hope you enjoyed the video, leave a like if you want to see more theory crafting stuff in the future, and subscribe for more very unhelpful commentary. I'm gonna go lie down.